For the record, I don't really know what I look like, so the portrait drawing at the end of this video may look nothing like me, and don't judge me. Around this time of year, it makes me rethink my career trajectory, I guess. Like, just the classic, you know, what are you doing with your life kind of vibe. And it usually makes me get really, really into my art. So I'm going to be out here making more art again and possibly making more videos. I've got a few ideas that I've had in mind for so long. And I was going through my old sketchbook. And at the beginning of, well, actually at the end of like a year ago, I did a self-portrait. And it was really like therapeutic when I did it. I drew this picture of me. I just kind of sat in front of a mirror and did it. And when I finished the drawing, I looked on it and saw like all these things that I was feeling but hadn't really like come to light or like realized that I was feeling them. So yeah, I found making the drawing really therapeutic. And I'll show hello Missy Me. I'll show the original portrait here. So I have the sketchbook that I had my original portrait in, which looks like this. And I wrote a little blurb before it, which says, self-portrait. I could see myself in the mirror, so I knew what I would be drawing, but the image that surfaced is revealing. She has a dark side, but is willing to let it show. Two sides to the same coin, no matter how grotesque. It also looks like most of the edges are soft, blurred. Where does the self end and the world, both real and fantasy, begin? She is disconnected from the real world and maybe from the self. So, as I was looking back through this sketchbook, I remember how I was feeling. And at the time, I'd learned about disassociation and how it's a bad thing. It is a defense mechanism. Basically, to put it briefly, when someone is put in a traumatic situation, usually as a child, but it could be when they're older, they will disassociate from their body and start to live in their head in this fantasy world where things are better, where things might have worked out a little bit nicer than what they actually did in the real life. I always thought that I was just the type of person to daydream a lot, and I didn't know that my extreme heavy daydreaming was actually disassociating and trying to escape a reality that I was unhappy in. And so looking back on that moment last year and looking back on the year that's just gone through, I really wanted to create a new portrait and see, I guess, what's happened, where I'm at, what I might subconsciously be feeling. There is this really interesting thing when you're painting a portrait of someone else. Obviously you see them, it might be a photo, it might be real life. You put together the planes and the shapes of their face, and once you put that all together it looks like them, right? But you, being a painter, an artist, you want to give it something a little bit more, something that a photograph won't capture. And then when you're doing a self-portrait, there's a lot less pressure, that's for sure, because it doesn't matter if it looks bad. You don't actually have to show anyone. It's usually just for practice or just for yourself. But at the same time, you're not only drawing what you see and how you perceive them, you're drawing what you feel, and you can't really help that. At least I can't anyway. It comes through the drawing, and like sometimes I don't even know that's how I'm feeling. So that's why I wanted to do this current self-portrait. So, coming to this new portrait that I've created. What I see in this is we've got much sharper edges and a white background and a spotlight. So the light is quite harsh. There's like shadows under her eyelashes. The shadows on her face actually show a lot of the like defining features, the gaps in her cheeks and jaw, and her neckline is so prominent, which is interesting because I'm quite insecure of my turkey neck. It's like a genetic thing, you know, that all the women in my family have, and I hate it. And then I drew it from like a lower angle and it's just there, and I'm okay with that. It's a weird like acceptance, I guess, of like, this is just who I am. The lighting feels very much in the spotlight, and she's also bigger. She's huge on the page, so she's come forward. So I'm feeling a lot more confidence coming from this drawing, and a lot more acceptance of the good and the bad. And then looking at her expression, she's not happy. She actually looks kind of unimpressed, but also unfazed at the same time. Like, behind those eyes there's potentially a little bit of rage, which is probably just to do with the state of the world right now. There's a lot of feminine rage popping up, and I kind of love it, and I'm all for it. But she's come into her own. She's embracing makeup, fashion, the alternative look, which is something that I was always into, and then I got kind of made fun of growing up in like a country town, and then as I got older, the people around me didn't like the alternative look or weren't really into it. They'd just be like, why are you dressed so weird? So I started masking that and just acted normal. And now that I've learned that I need to discover who I am as a person, and I've learned that I need to set boundaries, I am embracing that part of me again, because I feel like that is the truest part of me. Yeah, I think that's it. Stay tuned for more art in the future. I plan on doing a lot more. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for 2025 and what it brings. I am ready to be out there, to put my artwork out there, to talk about art, to react to art, you know, everything, and just exist. So yeah, I will see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. Bye.